Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Keefy at ghostcoldmag.com. We're doing a very special episode today of the Glacially Musical Podcast. You saw us last do a thruple version of this here on the streaming live on the Ghost Cult channel, as well as Glacially Musical, as well as a couple of our socials. I'll bring Dawn and Nick in a second. Thanks for being here. Not live on TikTok, but I may resurface this there somewhere. And we're going to talk about Ozzy. It's been the topic of the week. It's been consuming all the media around the world for the last bunch of days. And normally I don't start this thing, so I apologize for my awkwardness. But I'm going to bring in the guys. Let's see if I still have the Brady Bunch layout from the last time. Boop, boop, boom. Dawn and Nick. And then am I in too? I don't think I am. Gotta add one more.
Marsha.
Marsha. Hold on one second. Gotta find out if this layout works the way it is. How are you guys doing, man? What a tough time.
I'm good. I'm just gonna, while I'm waiting for you, I'm gonna do my dirt. I just want to say, welcome to the Glacially Musical Podcast special live edition. Number one, this is not a funeral. This is a celebration of the man, the myth, the legend, John Osbourne, whom we all miss dearly. As you know, I am Nick Cameron of the Glacially Musical Podcast, joined by my good friend, a man who will give you everything you want, Don, the Lord of this world, and as always, my best friend, whom I have not lost, Keefy Changes.
Good Lord.
So hopefully everybody's doing good. As you know, it is the Glacially Musical Podcast, so we still do it how we do it. It's beer, metal, swearing, beer check, vinyl check, shirt check, news. Normally it's news shirt, but obviously the whole episode is the news. So here we go. The Glacially Musical Beer of the Week, because we lost a Titan, drinking down a Hercules double IPA, 9.5%. And I am drinking it out of my St. Louis Blues pint glass because, as everybody knows, the St. Louis Blues were Ozzy Osbourne's favorite hockey team.
They were not.
They were not, Nick.
He did not have a favorite hockey team.
2019, he was wearing a Blues jersey cheering on the Blues in the Stanley Cup Finals, so that's his favorite team.
He was wearing it because he lost a bet.
No, that was when he got arrested in Memphis.
Oh.
That was a different time.
Okay. See, it's like the one bit of sports thing I thought I knew. So
there are multiple times where Ozzy Osbourne was photographed wearing Blues gear. Go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself. It might be cheaper.
Good Lord.
What are you drinking, Don?
The new just still occupying my body, so I am pounding water like a motherfucker. I was absent last week, folks, because I had a little kidney stone, and I still have a kidney stone, but it's somewhere up in here. Not causing me any grief, but I'm good. Going to the doctor.
I'm going to point out, as I'm looking at this, your face, Don, is on my body on the graphic, and your face is, and my face is on your body on the graphic. We need to fix that.
Well, I thought you had a much nicer body than me, Nick.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I gave you the fatter body because I was tired. I'm tired of being the fat one. Something like that.
You can just. God, what's his name?
Somebody on Reddit today said I looked like Jack Black's butt baby, which I thought was kind of weird but interesting.
It's kind of mean.
I was kind of mean, but I mean, like, if you take the butt baby aspect out of it, I can do Jack Black.
Okay, I finally got the joke now, so you can just call me Dave Foley because I'm the cute one.
Also, I was critiqued by Omar that Don has made me too slender in the graphic. Wow. Yeah, it's hurtful. It's hurtful. Melissa on YouTube says Don and Nick are basically directly over their cartoon bodies, just shorter. It's hilarious. She's not wrong.
Wait, could you repeat that, please?
When you watch this on replay, in this view that's on right now, your picture is over Don, but you have like Don's legs.
That's what I said.
It's like Freaky Friday.
I know. But what did you say before that about somebody talking about how Don
Omar
and I
said
look-
my graphic looks too slender. I have lost 10 or 11 pounds since the start
Then
of the
there
year.
was something
It's
said
very-
about our graphics, or did I dream that?
You didn't. I
Yeah.
said it already.
Well, my mom says I'm the best French kisser.
Is she?
My dad says I'm the best.
Hey, do you have asteroids?
Game? John, did you have your drink yet?
I did. I'm like pounding
right.
ice water,
All
man.
right, well,
Like,
I guess unless Keefy's
I have
busting
a
out the
drink.
booze this week,
I am indeed. Guess what I have?
what?
I am actually having a beer because I got to pour one out for my man Oz.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
shit.
God! I didn't have to drink for 3.
I don't know what
I
I'm
would.
doing here. This is just fucking chaos. Hold
Well,
on. Here we go. There I am.
Would my edible
not-
count at all?
Your edible could count. I took 2 edibles the other night and I fucking couldn't wake up the next day. Late to find out the Ozzy news because I was fucking having like psychotic dreams from 2 sleep edibles. I am bringing back an old favorite. My favorite beer since moving to California is this Dale's American Pale Ale by Oscar Blues. Look at the new can, Nick. New can action.
Oh,
And I have my Glacially Musical poured glass. Be jealous of me because I don't think Don.
I have one.
I do love me some Dales though. But cheers, everybody. I love you guys. As Ozzy would say, I love you all. You know,
Sanctity of my pour.
God bless you. We love you all.
this is my throuple. Oh, and by the way, I just want to give a quick shout out to my good friend, one of my best friends out there. His name is Wiley. He is tuning in via the YouTube, but he is not a social guy on the media thing, but he is tuning in, and he already complimented my beard. So, guys, look out. I'm taken.
El Numero Uno is not watching live, but he's going to recap it later and on Instagram. It says, I'll watch this later. I just wanted to say goodbye, Ozzy.
Aw.
Goodbye. Thank you, El Numero.
And by the way, tell Omar for his comment that I'm going to do one of him and add 30 pounds to it.
We'll have to get Omar's graphic in here at some point. But cheers and pour one out for the Ozman.
Absolutely.
All righty. Since we brought it down, let's bring it back up with some goodness. My vinyl check of the week. Got me a twofer, because that's how I roll. Don is going to love both of these records.
Shut up. I hate you already.
Wow. Go fuck yourself. Number 1, Saigon Kick. The Lizard. I'm sorry, the when we do StreamYard, the perspective is different and I get confused. This was a gift from my good friend Joe up in Minnesota. He sent me another one too. Anyway, this is on a kick-ass green record. Absolutely beautiful. Sounds lovely. And I hate Saigon Kick.
So now you have 2 of the Lizard?
No, I have one of the Lizard. I have all 3.
Fuck you and getting all these albums that I love that you don't like, and then you're just like, hey, Don, look what I got.
I would
But
be checking it if you weren't here.
But I
Album
do love
2 this week is The Monkey's Head. This is the Japanese copy that I got from a dumbass in one of them there Carolinas. Doesn't matter which one, because they're just one.
Is this how this is how I know I'm truly loved. I'm one of Nick's loves because he talks to me like this.
Oh yeah, if I don't like you, you don't have a nickname, and I'm nice to you. If I like you, I'm an asshole. Funny story. I met a friend of mine, my friend Chris, years and years and years ago, and I'm like, hey, just so you know, I'm an asshole. Step 1. If you can get past that, we can be friends. And he tells me later when he's recounting the story to somebody I introduced him to, he's like, turns out Nick really wasn't an asshole. He just needed to upgrade his wife. He's been way better since he got a new one.
That's amazing.
Don't miss you, Heather.
Do not pour one out for Heather.
I got a cat check. Goose has made his way in.
Cat check, Goose. Is Goose have a nickname or is it just Goose?
Just Goose.
Are you sure that's actually Goose though? Because I feel like you've got like 13 cats, right?
I have 5.
Okay.
Nick
Well,
is like
actually-
the washerwoman of The Simpsons.
Yes, I am. We went to a baseball game last week that had a cat rescue service, and we were worried they were going to bring cats. Because if they brought the cats,
You'd be going home with another one.
correct. And then, like a dumbass, I browsed their selection the next day.
Because you're a dumbass. Yeah, so I'm shocked you don't have one already.
That's because it's 40 miles away. So
Okay.
thank God for that. Don,
By the way-
final check.
By the way, before Don Vinyl checks, Sander here on the Tube of You has shared that we also lost George Kuimans, I hope I said that correctly, from Golden Earring at 77.
Wow.
Rough.
Radar love, baby.
Yeah, she's got this thing. Or
He's
we've
off
got
into
this
the
thing.
Twilight Zone.
Funny story about that song. My friend Nate used to sing that song all the time at me. And it was like 2 years before I found out it was actually a song. I didn't know that Radar Love was genuinely a song for 2 years.
How did you not know that?
I just
Well,
didn't know. Shut the fuck up.
What did you think it was?
Nick, be nice. We're
I
grieving.
didn't know. Sorry.
Yeah, never be nice. Don, Vinyl check, go.
I lash
Vinyl
out when I'm
check.
sad.
I picked this up today from Wally World, and you're gonna love this because this is the last one I needed, and it was open and got a ding on it, and so I went up to the guy at the register and I was like, "Hey, can you like knock something off of this?" And it was $22, and he was like, "Yeah." He goes, he rings up. He goes, "That'll be 15." I'm like, "Dude, that's really low." He goes, "I don't give a fuck. I just quit." I was like, "All right." So
You should have bought a bunch of things and seen what he charged me $0 for these 10 Saigon Kick records.
It's like that Beavis and Butthead episode when they go to. How much are those nachos? They're like a week old. I don't know, a quarter.
a quarter.
Give me a dozen.
So that was my purchase, and then of course, like my obsession has been my OG that I bought, or I should say my grandmother bought me the week that it came out.
I also have
This is
that,
my
but mine is a Columbia House edition.
This is not a Columbia House edition, and the funny thing is that if you open this up, it smells like the potpourri that my mom used to burn in the house all the time, and it's
That's
amazing.
beautiful.
That's a whole nother conversation for another topic, I'm sure. But that right there, it's something about this happening today in memory of Oz made me think of my mother.
I was going to spin that exact same record, but I was running late and I had to make pickles. I will spin it tomorrow, I promise.
Are you gonna send pickles out? Because I will pay you for postage. I want your pickle. I want to eat your pickles, Nick.
Good Lord.
I want to eat your nickels, Pick.
Only if you post a photo of you doing the Gene Simmons with the pickle.
Well, if I do that, you're paying for postage.
That's fair.
All right, bring it. We'll do a live stream just for that, folks.
Do you like hot and spicy?
Sometimes I go by my maiden name, Nick.
He's a Cajun person, pal.
I'm the Raging Cajun, dude. What do you expect? Come on, Nick. Get a grip, you fuck.
Get a Grip is a pretty good album by Aerosmith.
Am I matching Nick energy yet?
You don't get to match because you matching means escalation.
Oh God.
Yeah,
is it my turn to vinyl check?
Yes, Keefy's
I'm way
turn.
too mel. Keefy, go for it, baby.
All right. I have a twofer. I listened to a lot of Ozzy and Sabbath the last 2 days on.
I love the exasperation in your voice talking to us. I have to.
I'm just defeated by life. Here's a record that Don has, but I don't know if he got it for free like I did. Cot Run, the last record from her. This is the reissue, right? On Svart Records. Soul, right? So this is her last record from last year. One of my favorite records of the year. They sent me this bad boy as a thank you for doing the interview with her and a lot of news coverage on her. This is beautifully done by Svart Records. Again, your Wardrunas, your High Lungs, Ivor, foil on top of the printed cover, as well as the back cover has a foily, and then the gatefold is the artwork, the ocean crashing.
It's fucking beautiful.
I think it's Iceland, if I'm not mistaken. It did come with a poster and a book and other things, but here's the special vinyl, smoky clear vinyl. I don't know if this is truly smoky clear, but smoky clear.
Let's see that color. Okay, see, that looks like root beer to me.
Yeah, it looks like the old root beer candies.
Yeah, yeah. And yes, by the way, I did get my copy free after I had done my interview with her.
They did a nice job.
She is such a sweetheart, though. She was like, Don, let me make sure you get one.
Yeah,
it's
that's
beautiful.
Nice.
But incredible record. And Svart does some of the best packaging I've seen for releases in a long time.
Multitasking in the comments as well as on the show. And then also for my second vinyl check, this was the 30th anniversary reissue, one of the last albums that I bought in 2024. And this is by a very Sabbath and Ozzy inspired band. This is Corrosion of Conformity and their magnum opus Deliverance. You know the record, Clean My Wounds, Albatross, yada, yada, yada. Classic reproduction of the original. And then it's on this, I don't have the hype sticker anymore. I don't know what you would call this marble, vile marble color.
I can tell you what I would call that. I would call that a mustard black splatter that didn't splat.
Not enough splat on the splatter.
It happens.
Get over here and splat all over this.
I have, I bought Gygax. I forget the name of the record because I sold it. Boy, I wish I hadn't, but I had to.
The one they put out, like the one?
No, they have a bunch, and I have
like
that one.
3 at least. But the one I had, it was supposed to be a 3-color splatter. It only had 1. It only had 2 colors. And then my copy of Hammer, which is an American black metal artist, which is amazing, HAMR. It was supposed to be clear and green. Green just didn't happen. Apparently, on the way to the plant, the Ghostbusters got Slimer.
Oh. That's always a disappointment when shit like that turns out. And by the way, Nick, I mean Keefy and Nick, I'm being colorblind. That for some reason that album looked like Mountain Dew with melted M&M.
Brown M&Ms?
Yeah.
That tracks.
Not to be confused with the red M&Ms that give you cancer.
Not anymore. They're banned. Red Dye 40 is banned in America now.
We found this little sweet shop outside of town, but it was closed. We had to break in. Unfortunately, we beat the owner and his wife to death with their shoes. But Ozzy did a great. We got the brown M&Ms, and Ozzy did a great show.
That was actually pretty good, Nick. I'm actually impressed.
What's from
Nick
Wayne's
is
World
the
2?
new 5th member of Spinal Tap.
No, it's from Wayne's World 2.
I know what it's from.
But I'm also easily impressed.
Who's that old lady? That's my old lady.
Oh, and I always thought he meant Steven Tyler when he said, "Who's that old lady?"
Oh, crab cakes. That's not nice.
Steven Tyler and Kirk Hammett looking like my 2 Aunt Gussies and Arlene at the same time.
Did you guys ever see that picture of CeCe DeVille from like years ago where and the caption was CeCe DeVille looks like someone's aunt who's been through a lot?
Was that so was that like CC 1987 or 8?
No, this was like CeCe DeVille 2000.
He looks like a lesbian aunt in 2000 on the reunion tour.
Yeah, when he still had the kind of spiky hair, you know what I'm talking about? He looked like heavy eyeliner.
Ellen DeGeneres' partner.
That's what
right. He looked like Ellen DeGeneres' partner after a pride-fueled bender.
He's about to marry Melissa Etheridge in a ceremony with
David Crosby officiating.
Oh, maybe.
Well, it better be by hologram because he's dead.
Yeah.
Not in 2000. Okay.
We're extremely way off the rails with Amtrak.
Shirt check.
Are we skipping the news altogether? Because this is the chaser. The news is Ozzy.
Yeah, the news is Ozzy. Okay. Yeah. I have actually been looking for this shirt for weeks, and I grabbed it today. I got some goose hair on it, and I apologize. But the one thing I posted on Facebook on my personal page yesterday, everybody's posted about Ozzy. I just said, tell Randy we said hi. And the people that got it, and I love you for it. Done.
Shirt check. Atlanta sucks because it does. I have a love-hate. This is also my nod to one of my iconic idols, Lester Bangs, who used to have the shirt. It was a Detroit sucks, and so this was my shirt to that. But I also have an Ozzy shirt, but apparently it was from my more svelte days, and now it fits like a jogging bra.
And it's going to go on Ozzy Osbourne.
It's going to go on Ozzy Osbourne, but I decided I love our dedicated listeners and viewers too much to submit that level of sexiness to them. But anyway,
we don't need to see those pot tits. We see them all the time.
Okay, Antonio Banderas. It's too sexy. It's too sexy.
Oh, and much like Nick said, like my one post like yesterday was a typical writer post. Was that like I just don't have the words, but eventually I will. And love me or hate me, Keefy, you know what's going to happen when I post whatever I post. It's going to be for me and from my heart. So, but
yeah, I was never going to be ready, and I think we'll say before we go much further, my shirt check is Bridge City Sinners. This is an extremely delightfully evil-looking shirt for such a band that makes me happy. But what are you going to do? So yeah, Nick, do you want to start? Do we want to do the all? I don't know if we should do the all three. I don't know if this view looks the best or not, but maybe we'll just leave this so we're all on it together.
I mean, it's our smiling faces is not the draw.
I'm kind of loving this though. Like, you know,
I feel like it's the rapier wit with which I've been stabbing Don in the belly today. That wasn't good. I'm sorry,
Nick. Sometimes
trap puke sip.
Hey, what was your call scammer name today? Did you really use mine?
Yeah. So everybody knows I like fudging around with the scammers and the SEO people because they piss me off, and so. I now Don like sends us a text message today in the group chat saying I told a scammer my name was Jack Me Off, and he repeated it, and all the other scammers laughed at him, and I thought, okay. Usually I insult them in Hindi, but I decided I'm gonna do this thing. So I like put on my old man voice. Yeah, hi, my name, yeah, Jack. I got Medicare. Oh, I got it. And he's like, what's your name? My last name is Meoff. How you spell that? Meyhoff. Okay. What's your first name? Jack. Jack Meoff. And I'm not going to say what I'm going to say next in the future because it's very rude, but I have a response to that.
Well, he also had a very hefty response to me that I will not repeat on the air, but it had something to do with my mother and farm animals.
They like talking about my mother a lot.
They love reverting back to the mother, the sister, and the goat. I don't know what the thing is, but you know.
So we're all bass players here, right? The mother, the sister, the bag, and the queen. Anyway, we're Amtrakking. We're piddling paddling. We're gonna do a little bit of Ozzy reminiscence because metal fans of a certain age, which is our age, you know, out of the three of us, none of us grew up following Black Sabbath in the current time. We all look back, and so we're gonna do a 6-point program on Ozzy Osbourne, and we're gonna start off with what are our earliest memories of the man. Now, for me, I've told this story before, and I'll tell it again. I became a Black Sabbath fan after I was an Ozzy Osbourne fan. It was 1984, 1985. I was in 4th grade. I was at Scruggs Elementary School on South Grand Avenue in Delore. Not too far from where I live now, and I was watching professional wrestling. I was watching World Championship Wrestling, not to be confused with WCW World Championship Wrestling, which came later. This was television program on TBS. It was 5:05 p.m. to 7:05 p.m. on Saturday Central Time, and the Road Warriors came out, and their song was "Durr." I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. Durr, nah, 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 nah. And then by the time they had kicked the crap out of the Mowglis, and if there's any old school wrestling fans, you know exactly who the Mowglis are, and you can picture them. They look like Timu Ric Flairs. Little fatter, little worse hair, all kinds of bad. By the time they're passed out in the ring, and you hear, "Can he walk at all, or if he moves?" And I'm like, wow, this song is fucking amazing. So the next day I'm in school. We're in line for water break or bathroom break or whatever, right? And I'm telling my friend Tom about this, and he's like, "That's Iron Man by Black Sabbath." I'm like, "Oh." He's like, "Ozzy Osbourne sings it." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne was in a band called Black Sabbath." The Bark at the Moon guy? That's where I got on the train. I got on the train with Bark at the Moon because in 1983, 4, I forget exactly what it was. I'm 8, 9 years old. And at that same time, werewolf movies are the biggest thing in the world. So, of course, Ozzy, I saw American Werewolf in London in the theater until I demanded my stepsisters take me home. I was 5. You should not take a 5-year-old to that movie. Just going to throw that out there. I was traumatized for a long time. Eventually, I owned it. And at this time, The Howling, Teen Wolf comes later. I'm huge into werewolves. And I blame Bark at the Moon for my werewolf love of the 80s. And so for me, that is my entrance point. I saw Ozzy doing an amazing Jekyll and Hyde werewolf video for Bark at the Moon. And then my favorite wrestling tag team used Black Sabbath as their entrance song. And I mean, right there, that started a love affair that still continues to this day, 40 years later. Done.
Nick, that was fucking beautiful, by the way. As we've talked about this a lot between the three of us, and anyone who knows me is, around the time I got into metal was around 83, 84. I was 10, 11, almost maybe hitting 12 or so.
I was younger.
Yeah, so it's between 84, 85. I didn't have an older sibling. I didn't hang out with any kids that liked this kind of shit. But my best friend at the time, he had a really cool older brother who was kind of like my older brother. And he's the one that turned me on to metal in general. And it was just, everything, Maiden, Priest, Twisted Sister, Dio, whatever. But some reason Ozzy was not in the mix the first round. So it was probably about 6 months later. And he was like, it's almost like felt like he was kind of grooming me towards it. Like it was something, So the first thing I ever heard was Bark at the Moon, the song. And he showed me the album cover. And it hit me like none of the Maiden albums hit. Like, Maiden albums look fucking cool, right? Like they're just awesome. Eddie in all his glory, fire, whatever. Like this is legit a human fucking werewolf covered in hair, and I'm looking at this pic. I'm going like, it like legit scared me a little bit.
The Maiden albums were cool.
Right.
The Ozzy covers were scary.
Were fucking horrifying, right? And so, so I'm looking at this cover and like part of me is like, this creeps me out. I want it. And so he plays Bark at the Moon for me. And I still vividly remember just thinking like, this isn't like anything else that I'm listening to with these guys, but it's got this vibe. And then of course I was schooled that he was the Black Sabbath dude who again came just a little later for me. And, We Sold Our Souls for Rock and Roll, the compilation.
My
so
first was
back to back.
My first was Greatest Hits featuring Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So Bark at the Moon was the catalyst, and which was really interesting because it was right between. So it was 85. Now that I think about it, because it had been out for a while, and then Ultimate Sin hadn't come out yet. So by the time Ultimate Sin came out, I was already on, Blizzard and Diary and Bark, and then I moved forward from there. But all I can say is, it might be cheesy, it might be cliche or something, but it was a very special moment, a very memorable moment, and something I feel like a big brother would do, and so I was very grateful.
For me, it was watching Friday night videos with my cousins. My cousins were a little older than me and definitely introduced me to a lot of music, and including King Diamond and Slayer.
Yeah,
that was the same weekend trip, by the way. Keefy, what do you got?
Well, I've told this a few times, so this goes back to little shaver Keefy in his underoos and tidy whities in the project's apartment, and my brother who had like weed paraphernalia everywhere and guitars and no money, but a lot of weed and records, had a giant ass ghetto blaster boombox. And one of my earliest musical memories is hearing that very first bass slide of War Pigs. And I just like exploded my little brain. In the same way Kiss did when I heard Kiss Alive, in the same way Thin Lizzy did when I heard those two guitars, in the same way everything. But yeah, that was it for me for Black Sabbath and Zeppelin and on and on and on. And knew I had to find a way to make that sound myself, and I knew by listening to Ozzy I wanted to sing and sing metal. So, just things like that are baked into my entire baked into my entire being. And as I wrote on Facebook, I was never going to be ready for this news. I really didn't think it was going to be this soon. Nick was not present for our roundtable for Ghost Cult, but Gail Worley of the Worley Gig said, I think Ozzy is really very quite ill. And I had heard, as I told you guys, credible rumors a few months ago that maybe he might not even make the show, which sounds shitty in hindsight. A lot of people have been, by the way, equally shitty.
There was a lot of people, myself included, that were really worried about that show.
Yeah, whether he could make it through. And I was just talking to my friend Ken Pierce offline, and he was saying, like, maybe Ozzy said that he said he had to get off all his Parkinson's meds to just do the show so he could make it through the show comfortably. And I don't know if that hastened his demise, or if he really was on death's door and he made it to this show, which would be very poetic and rub people all in the feelings in the gooey bags. But like,
the way Lawyer Wife put it was, maybe he had to get to that show. And he had to get to one more time to say thank you. I don't think the Black Sabbath show, the Villa Park show, I don't think it was a farewell. I don't think it was a final curtain call. I think it was a thank you. Just one more time, let me see you. Not even let me hear you, but let me see you. And then at that time, he was sated and done.
Well, yeah, I mean, because Sabbath had already had their goodbye. Like they had their thank you later. This was Ozzy basically saying, I just want to see you guys one last time. And not to go on a diatribe here, Keefy, I'm sorry, but one of the things I wanted to echo what Keefy said was that, like, I knew this was coming. We all knew this was coming. And we were like, actually, I think the three of us may have even talked about this offline at one point, in our own chat, that, like, he might not even make it to the show, whatever. But when he died, even though it wasn't a surprise, it hit. And like my first reaction was like, really? Like, Ozzy's dead? Like, even though it was coming within like hours, possibly, and I was just like, it's this feeling of just denial for a second, and the last time I was this impacted by this was when Dio passed, because in my mind, Dio cannot die. Much like Royal Thomas Baker, Dio is stronger than death. and he wasn't.
Dio is death.
Ah, see, you know,
Stronger Than Death is a good album by Black Label Society.
Let's move on to point 2 and favorite memory. I don't know that I have a singular favorite memory of Ozzy. For me, I saw him perform twice with Black Sabbath, twice solo. The solo tours were both with Joe Holmes. I saw him with Mike Borden on drums, and I saw him with Bill Ward on drums with Black Sabbath. Unfortunately, the first one was far better than the second one. But that's besides the point. For me, it was how much what he did touched all of my relationships going back so far. And I don't have a singular. I'm sorry. Don, what do you got?
August 18th, 1992. Atlanta, No More Tours tour. Ugly Kid Joe, Faster Pussycat opening the show. We had probably 20th row, kind of offset to the side. Not all the way, but almost, like off the center aisle, but over. Blistering hot. And like even, it was in the shed. It was at Lakewood Amphitheater. And, emotions were already running high, in the crowd, because it was exactly kind of very similar to what it was, a celebration, and love them or hate them, Ugly Kid Joe, Faster Pussycat, whatever, like those fucking bands came out. They slayed. They did.
I love one of them and hate the other one.
Well, but they both did incredible jobs, but it also was not over them what they were playing, if that makes sense. Like they were very vocal about where they were at, what they were doing, and what an honor it was. And the whole day, it was just positivity. Fast forward, Ozzy, house lights go down. You can just feel the pressure of people, and this is reserved seating, but it's starting to feel kind of tight. The opening lick for Paranoid kicks in. Zach does his jump right when he jumps, the big kabuki drops like that. All of a sudden, we felt just the surge of people behind us, and all we could do was sink or swim. So we're hopping over aisles. We are on the rail now, like right in front of Mikey Inez. And the energy.
Were you going off the rails?
Dude, I had the desire to go off the rails of my crazy.
Oh. Did they ask you?
They didn't ask me shit.
You know why they didn't ask you? Don't ask Don.
Oh, you're
Don
right.
Don't know.
Because I don't know. But speak of the devil though, the when we were there, you see what I did there, is that Ozzy came on, and you could just tell like the energy was just incredible. It was hot. Like Ozzy sounded better than I'd heard him on two previous tours. The energy was just great. And my kid brother was with us, who at the time was like 14 or so. And he had this baseball cap. I don't even remember what was on it, but it was this red baseball cap that was like his security blanket. Almost like he never left home without it. Ozzy comes running across the stage, and my brother takes his hat off and he throws it to Oz. Oz picks it up, looks at the hat, and puts it on. And he smiles at my brother and I and my friends. He walks over and he goes, I fucking love you. Comes back with a fucking bucket of water, just douses us with the water, and we're just like, yeah. In my mind, like I will always cherish just that one little section of a show that was probably all of like a minute, maybe two, because when he came back over to us with the hat, he took the hat off and he went to hand it back to my brother. Oh, now I'm getting teary. And my brother said, keep it. And Ozzy looked at him and he put it back on. And I was just like, my brother would not leave the fucking house without that hat for years. And to think that Ozzy took that with him meant that much to my brother, and that's a memory you can't take from me, I never got to meet the guy, never got to talk to him. But for that one moment, it was like he knew me. He knew us. He knew we were there. And he could make you feel that way when there was like 20,000 people in the place. Because I'm sure the other 19,999 people felt that way also. But
Tremendous.
That's a memory I'll never forget.
I'm feeling trite now. Keefy, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm not gonna have anything compared to this. I have two. It would be hard not to have this. I did a whole YouTube on this during the pandemic, during my series War Stories with Keefy. And so I got to meet Ozzy from 10, 15 feet away. I almost got a picture and an autograph with him, but there's a famous autograph hound in New York City that fucked me out of my chance because security got nervous around that guy because he's literally AIDS as a person. So sorry, people with AIDS. Anyway, God Bless Ozzy Osbourne debuts at the Tribeca Film Festival in 2011. I had already moved to Boston from New York, so I was not then a resident of New York still, but I came down to cover Tribeca Film Festival. For the website I had before Ghost Cult. And got to participate. People came from all over the world. We were handed a dossier that looked like a fucking file, a police file of a convict, of Ozzy facts and history, and people still didn't read it and asked moronic questions. One person flew from Australia to ask if Ozzy would make a techno album because they like tech. It was the two directors of God Bless Ozzy Osbourne, Jack and Ozzy. Try not to laugh, Nick, but he's laughing. I get it. So it's a one-question interview. The only other metal person there, in press or otherwise, is Jose Mangan, the metal ambassador from Sirius XM. I don't know if you know that guy, but he's cool. He's always liked Ghost Cult. And he's the host of The Devil's Dozen on Sirius XM. Sirius XM, also home of Ozzy Radio, Ozzy's Boneyard, and other shows affiliated and branded for Ozzy.
Is he still doing liquid metal too, or what's he?
He still does liquid metal, but
Okay.
They also have Sean the Butcher, who's also an acquaintance, a friend of mine. So we get to ask Ozzy a question. I'm wearing like my jeans, a button-down, untucked shirt, and a blazer. And I said, "Hey, Oz, huge metal fan of yours my entire life." And he goes, "Hey, if you're a big metal fan, how come you dress like that?" I was like, "Because you dress up to meet royalty." And he laughed. He thought it was funny, but it was like he went at me a little, which is nice. He's not dumb. I know at the end he might have seemed addled and weak, but he was very sharp always. You couldn't hear. He really was fucking deaf from never using hearing protection. So Jack kind of would like whisper in his ear, "This is what he's asking." And then he would, "Oh, okay. And then he would answer. So I had asked him the question, which is like, do you ever feel like the Ozzy antics take away from Ozzy, the artist, in the eyes of your fans? Do you ever worry about that? And he's like, I can't go back and fix what I did. I made a lot of mistakes, especially when I was drunk and high, but also just being an asshole. I made a lot of mistakes because I'm a goofball. And I just, I feel very lucky that the fans love me. And I always ask for, mercy going forward. Like, please appreciate the mistakes that I'm willing to cop to in the past and give me grace now." And I thought that was very sweet and thoughtful of him. Like, he thought he had that answer ready. He didn't take him too long to formulate it. And like I said, he was being walked out, and I was supposed to get his personal assistant for many years. Like, "Hey, you asked the only good question out of everybody there. And, do you want to meet Oz? I can get you to get a quick photo with him and a hello." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, absolutely. I want to make that happen for you." Oh my God. And then this guy came in and fucked it up at the end. So, obviously that and the original earliest memory of the War Pigs bass and NIB and all these things. But, I was very lucky to see Ozzy many times solo and with Sabbath. I really never thought I would see Sabbath. I didn't really consider, again, for a long time when they fired Ozzy, I took that shit personally.
I never saw Sabbath as a real thing. They were this mythical thing that happened in the before times. So when I saw them, I about pissed myself.
Yeah. We'll get into the best shows or whatever. I don't know if that's this question or not, But
that's not on the dossier.
Okay, well then I will say, like, I saw the No More Tears tour and I thought it was pretty great. But actually, better than that, I think actually the best 2 times I saw any Ozzy and or Sabbath, Ozfest '97, which at that time was like the biggest thing of my whole life. And I had seen, like, that summer, I saw Ozfest '97, Page and Plant, and Metallica, like literally within 3 weeks of each other. It was fucking mind blowing. This
I saw
is
2
the
of those
Ozfest.
things.
Sorry?
I only saw 2 of those things. I saw Page and Plant in '95. I didn't see them in
Nice.
the second round.
Yeah, I didn't see them till '97. And that's kind of why I don't want to see Robert now. Like, I just don't care for Robert the Folky, and I just want to see Page and Plant, or not at all, or Zeppelin, or not at all. But you know, I saw the Ozfest '97, and there was a lot of hype about Manson. He was actually like over Pantera on the billing, and he was pretty terrible. Even though I grew to love him later, and whatever, sketchy or evil or whatever you want to say about him, Pantera was fucking mind blowing. When they went on, they came on to the intro of Cowboys from Hell, that little sample that Dime was never able to recreate from the original 4-track demo. And people ran. This is in Giants, the old Giants Stadium, so the football stadium that holds 80,000. The new building holds 100,000. And people ran onto the field, like dove 10, 15 feet off the fucking lip of the bottom row onto the field, which was, we were frying all day. It was like a black tarp over the AstroTurf, and we were just dying from heat stroke the whole day. It was an incredible show. And I do think I'm going to do an Ozfest. I've done like a Warped Tour. I think I'll do an Ozfest history on Ghost Cult at some point. And especially with Ozzy passing. But I was going to do it anyway. I've been working on it for quite a while. So that show was amazing. It was like Typo Negative, Fear Factory, Machine Head, Black Sabbath, and then Ozzy. And they both played pretty much full sets. And that was with Puffy on drums, no Bill Ward. Then in '99, Bill came back out with them. And I saw that in an arena, at the old Brendan Byrne Arena where the Jersey Devils played. And it was Pantera, Black Sabbath, with Ozzy, obviously, and Puffy, Pantera, and Deftones opening. And Deftones.
I saw that on Ozfest in '99.
Incredible. Both shows, incredible. And I have to say, I love Joe Holmes, man. Joe Holmes is one of my favorite Ozzy guitar players. He was absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
He doesn't count, but yes.
He absolutely counts. Shut up.
He absolutely counts. Shut up, Nick.
That's like saying Gus G doesn't count. Like, you're crazy. Or Satriani didn't write songs for Ozzy. Or Lemmy doesn't count as an Ozzy lyricist.
That was Vi.
Sorry, Vi, not Satriani.
Dude, if you were on stage with Ozzy for more than just a guest appearance, like you did a tour, you know.
I mean, Joe Holmes was in the band for like 3-4 years.
Yeah. I mean,
Zach had left, by the way. I don't know if people remember this. Zach had left to join Guns N' Roses. And then he was out, and he had to start Black Label Society because Guns N' Roses kind of ground to a halt. Axl fired everybody, / quit. Duff quit. Axl fired everyone else, and he started over with Buckethead. And Zach had nowhere to go and couldn't go back to Ozzy, so he had to start first Pride and Glory and then Black Label Society.
Hot take: I like Pride and Glory better.
Thank you. I was just gonna say that.
I don't like Black Label.
Pride and Glory is pretty good, but Zach is great.
Zach is great. And,
Zach Wild, Black Label Society series in 2026.
Fair.
Oh, yeah, we should do that.
Let's move on to the next bit because we are yapping in a knitting circle. Top videos. And I'm just going to I'm going to say one thing about Ozzy that I don't think can be said about a lot of the 70s guys. And when the words start coming out of my mouth, please think about Black Sabbath. Please think about Led Zeppelin, Robert Plant, Deep Purple, all those kinds of guys, right? Ozzy Osbourne, in the very beginning of his solo career, did something that none of those people could do. He switched to the new game. It's like the MC Chris video or the MC Chris sketch. You got another new game. What's the new game? Viral videos. And that's exactly what MTV, Friday Night Videos, Night Tracks, all that stuff was. And he was able to transition from the 70s game into the 80s game and he didn't look silly. He didn't sound silly. It wasn't like Robert Plant in 1983 doing Shaken and Stirred with, synthetic drums. He seamlessly switched because he had the right group around him. So my personal favorite video is always going to be Crazy Train.
I'm going to interrupt you and say that Shot in the Dark is absolutely fucking Liberace Ozzy is silly as fuck, but go ahead. I'm going to let you finish.
Okay, you don't get to talk now on this one.
$1.
Fuck you, Don. I'm done. I've lost my.
What? Go on. No, come on.
No, I've actually lost my train of thought. Don, go ahead.
No, Nick. No, seriously, go ahead.
Seriously, I have forgotten my train of. Okay, I like Perry Mason.
What did you like about that one, though?
Don hates Perry Mason.
Geezer was in it, and they were doing. Zach's doing his like amazing like Tony Iommi impersonation, and Geezer is being Geezer, and like it was more. That album had more Black Sabbath on it than the Black Sabbath album of the same year. Done.
That's interesting. I didn't even think about that so obviously I'm going to be partial because like probably my favorite video is Bark at the Moon, which is absolutely
do love,
which is absolutely asinine because what I love about it is that like it's so low budget that the band plays characters in the video. And there's that scene where they're like hauling Ozzy away in the straitjacket. And Bob Daisley looks up at the and hides his face. Like I just fucking loved everything about that.
They definitely could not afford Graham Chapman.
Yeah, they were not at Maiden level, to afford somebody like Monty Python, But Bark at the Moon.
That was Graham Chapman's last role too. That was his last.
It was absolutely.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up so we can like stay on the track.
I need to also be good about the mute button. And for anybody who doesn't know us, this is kind of par for the course, but we love you all. And so anyway, Bark at the Moon was a big thing. Ultimate Sin, probably even to this day, is one of the funniest fucking videos I've ever seen.
I've never seen it.
Oh my God. It's Ozzy reenacting Dallas. Like the TV show Dallas. Unbelievable. Where he's like an oil tycoon with the giant cowboy hat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have seen this.
It's so fucking good. And then of course, I guess because of our age and because of our generation, I got to say Crazy Train, because like how exciting was it for us that this was the first time that we even knew that this after hours thing existed. And the fact that we were seeing
the three of us have all said we got on board with Jake. We were there for Randy. So all of a sudden, this other situation shows up that, frankly, is way better. I'm sorry, it's way better.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, wait, what? What did we miss? But it was the '80s. The '80s aren't like now. When the announcement that Ozzy had died happened, I had someone at my desk 30 seconds later telling me, never would have happened in 1985.
And the funny thing is, too, is that we talk about this this Randy footage in Crazy Train, is that Randy was just pictures for us. The nice pinky, love it. But do you know what I mean? Like, Randy was pictures. Randy was a poster on my wall.
He wasn't real. There
was no action. There was no movement. It was a series of stills. So all of a sudden we get this video and we're seeing him play on this sound stage and we're seeing his expressions, and when he's like ripping on the toggle switch, and like, you're just like, oh my God, he really was a real fucking
Years later, I acquired the video of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's let Keefy go if you don't mind. Can't hear you.
Muted. That's good. I did come in with Randy, by the way. I was
all right, old man.
9 years old when Blizzard of Oz came out. So I don't know.
Well, Nick, Keefy is 68 for those of you.
Yes, that's right. I love Randy. He, like, the genius of him is only hurt because of you know, hurt because he died so young, but he was right there with Van Halen, maybe even better than Van Halen in some aspects. But also, like, honestly, Ozzy's band played more complex songs on purpose than Van Halen. Obviously, the idea was for Van Halen to play easier songs so they could show off. No More Tears for me. Number one, Love. Like, it was high art as a music video. Really like Ozzy's greatest video in terms of a story matching the music and the lyrics, which, you know, I know people don't think of. They think of Ozzy as a bad lyricist because other people write lyrics for him, but I don't think that's what his talent was anyway. I think that his talent was his ear for melody and his ability to convey a line and sing a phrase.
Yeah, his ability was to make the lyrics that someone else wrote come to life his way.
100%. 100%.
But if you don't have melody, all you have is words, and those words, it's the melody that brings the words to, you know, it's a ham sandwich with really good mustard on it. And he's I'm stoned. I'm sorry.
Grape
talking.
I'm high.
When Don starts using food puns,
I'm high as fuck.
I'm sorry. Somebody from India is trying to get my medicine.
This is my first beer in many, many moons, by the way. So I'm rather enjoying. I miss me some Dales. So yeah, No More Tears, and not to mention, what a banger of a song! Absolutely the best song on there. On No More Tears,
like the
album.
Best like breakup song. Your girl breaks up with you, and you can just rock to that.
Inez, Castillo, Zach, young Zach. You know,
What's the first
amazing.
real Zach record?
No, it isn't.
I don't consider Ultimate Sin.
That's crazy.
No
anyway,
rest.
He wrote those songs.
Yeah, but he wasn't even allowed to play the guitars he chose.
Whatever. It just doesn't make sense. What you're saying.
Makes sense
anyway,
to me. I play
next topic, Nick.
Next topic is ranking the guitar players. Let's not pontificate too much. For me, it goes Randy, Zach, Jake, other kids. Done.
So I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to say Randy, Jack, Joe Holmes.
Did you say Jack?
I mean Zach. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Jack.
Were you too busy being fucking high?
No, I was thinking about Jack.
Look, we don't use substances on this show.
Says the dude who drinks like a 98% beer. Anyway, let me list my fucking guitar players.
9.5.
Nick. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so I've obviously Randy, then Jake, Joe Holmes, Zach underneath that, and then believe it or not, I think after that I would probably have to say Gus G. So that's my running order, and I'm sticking to it.
Keefy.
Gus G is incredible. Who are the 5 greatest rappers of all time? Dylan, and Dylan, because they spit hot fire. Randy, 1 through 5. And then Zach and Jake E. Lee and Joe Holmes and Gus G. I love Joe Holmes. Justice for Joe Holmes.
I would love to have heard a great record by Joe.
Supposedly there are demos that he made.
They were supposed to have recorded 4 tracks for the greatest hits, The Oz Man Cometh.
Yes, which I have. But instead they use demos of War Pigs with different lyrics that I don't care for.
Hey, I love the 48-minute version of Black Sabbath.
Sure you do.
The narrative is way better. It takes a long time.
There's a lot of warming up.
That's the deadhead in me. I like the 40-minute version of anything.
I could probably sing the 48-minute version of War Pigs. It might get a little warbly.
Please don't mention the Grateful Dead when we're talking about Ozzy and Black Sabbath.
Fuck the Grateful Dead. Fuck them.
No. But what I'm saying is to back this back to what Keefy said, is that Joe Holmes doesn't get enough fucking cred. Like, I know
why? Because there's no recordings of him.
Of course, there was no recordings of him because he wasn't allowed to get to that point.
I will correct you. There is one recording of Joe. There's 2 recordings of Joe Holmes, technically. The Ozfest VHS tape
and the David Lee Roth live album.
But also the Ozfest double CD has Joe Holmes with Ozzy. The only recorded appearance.
Okay, how many co-writing credits does Joe Holmes have?
0. That's not his fault.
There we go. That's what we're talking about.
Why is it his fault?
It's not his fault.
But the dude
Fuck
code-
Ingrid
the
Malmsteen.
dude
I want
wrote-
to hear Joe Holmes playing a Stratocaster.
Look,
That's
I
what
the
get him.
dude
absolutely
wrote like
love
5 fucking songs.
Dave Murray.
1997 Ozfest, watching Ozzy Osbourne get down on his knees, staring at the fretting of Joe Holmes. And then getting that video we discussed earlier and watching how Joe Holmes, who was a student of Randy Rhoads, could imitate Randy's licks exultantly. However, based on the fact that he never wrote a fucking record or song, one has to wonder, could he write a record or song?
Okay, so
Have to
first off,
assume no.
he did because he was actually in Lizzie Borden.
Eat your own blood.
He was in Lizzie Borden. He also did his Pharmacoast project, which he wrote.
He
And-
played Farmers on Facebook. I don't care.
Pharmacoast, no. And the thing was that, and Keith, maybe, I don't know, maybe both of you guys can correct me, but I had actually heard that there was a writing session with Joe Holmes and Ozzy, and that there was some sort of bickering about Zach wanting to come back because things weren't going his way like he thought he was going to do, or something happened, and then Joe kind of just got kind of kicked to the curb. But we got to remember, man, Joe Holmes was there when Ozzy needed someone, and that's an impossible fucking gig to take.
Look, yes, absolutely. However, we don't have a record. We don't have a singular Joe Holmes record, period. It sucks ass. I want to hear it. Moving on.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second. I have one last thought. Hot take: Lizzie Borden sucks. Go on.
That is not a hot take. That is the smart take. That is the coldest take in the world.
You both can suck my swollen left nipple.
What?
Look, Murderous Metal Roadshow, one of the greatest fucking metal
Mute
live
that
albums
guy.
ever made.
Mute that guy. You want to go to the penalty box? You want to go to the penalty box?
Nick, stop talking. Go.
Dawn is in the penalty box. 5-minute major.
Oh my god.
10-minute misconduct. Ow, I hurt myself. So let's talk about Ozzy Osbourne in Black Sabbath.
Because you're fucking old.
What?
You said, "Ow, I hurt myself," and I said, "Because you're fucking."
I
old.
hurt myself doing the misconduct call. Do you need to point it out? Want me to do it again so I can hurt myself again?
Do you want me to just send you my kidney
Shut up,
stone?
Don. You're in the penalty box.
I don't want to be in the penalty box.
You have 17 minutes in the sin bin. You got 5, 2, and a 10.
You can kiss my ass, Nick.
Was
I
that,
can't.
Was that
I'm
Cartman or Mr. Garrison?
Why am I?
Bro,
Mr. Head is a two-timing whore.
This has become a Nick Reacts video.
Amazon Sawyer floating down the raft on the river, the back guy.
Are we rapping or in
Warbling pigs. Do it, Nick.
I don't know.
Ken.
Look, I don't know who Ken's talking. I don't know whom Ken is talking about. My name is not Nick. Everybody knows that.
Come on, Nick. Back on track. Come on.
Nick. I'm not Nick. I'm Nick.
Nick. Nick. Oh, Nick.
Stop. Mute Don. So
Don is responsible. He can mute himself.
no, obviously he cannot. My favorite Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath record is still probably the debut. What I love about the debut is that it is still one of the few. It was so vastly different than everything that had come before it. And it was an amazing change of the English blues as they took it to something special. The title track is just truly beautiful. It is beautiful and scary. They did the Pink Floyd sound effects and the Black Sabbath tritones, and it is just, it's one of the few records around that time that's all killer and no filler. Done.
Oh my God, best Ozzy Sabbath song. Ozzy Sabbath. You know, it's so funny because everybody, you can't answer this question honestly and not have it be cliche. Because actually, I think cliches are stupid. I don't care what.
Unless your answer is never say die, at which point I don't trust you.
Or if or, yeah, exactly. Or, or Born Again. But anyway, stop. Um, you know, I used to say my favorite album was Master of Reality because in general that is one of my favorite albums, and probably, but I'm reminded that it's the debut album every time that first fucking song kicks in, that title track. I have not heard a band to this day match that song. I've heard people imitate it. I've heard people come close trying to, but you will never match that song in that moment, in that recording. It is lightning in a fucking bottle. I don't even think Sabbath themselves could recreate that.
They tried with every singer that wasn't named Ozzy and could not.
Well, even with Ozzy, they did it well, and it was but there was something about the isolation of that song, the sound effects, that fucking death bell. You know what I mean? Like everything about it was just just encapsulated everything. And
so would you say you're like me, Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath?
So I'm gonna say Black Sabbath, Behind the Wall, Asleep. Black Sabbath. And the reason why I say that is because Black Sabbath is such a powerful song and such a pinnacle song that I feel like I can't even chart that with other songs. So it's got its own rung of the ladder. But Behind the Wall, Asleep is my all-time favorite Sabbath song.
Let's move on.
Black Sabbath.
Let us move on to Keefy. What you got, buddy?
So kind of hard to pull this one, but historically I would say War Pigs, best song, best solos, best bass, best Ozzy, everything, best message, best lyrics, even if he didn't write them. But I am very partial as I got older and older, and I think about the hypocrisy of things, and I love Lord of This World lyrically, and his vocal delivery on Lord of This World is incredible. There's a few others, obviously, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Even that has an incredible vocal melody. Like, again, I think that Ozzy's ear, having listened to he wanted to reach beyond his own talent a lot. And I think, he had a very elevated ear. And yeah, Ozzy Sabbath is still the best Sabbath. I don't care. It's the only Sabbath for me.
Ozzy was a lot like Ace Frehley. Very limited ability, technical ability, but an ear like you wish you could have. If Eddie Van Halen or Steve Vai or those kinds of guys, if they had the kind of ear that Ozzy had, we would just be wiping our mouths of them like every day, wiping our mouths.
Were we also supposed to say favorite Ozzy album?
We're doing that now. It's my turn.
Real quick though, let me just chime in. Did you guys ever hear it was the outtake of Solitude, where Ozzy was doing the melody, but he was singing the lyrics that just came to his head as he was creating?
No, I have not heard that.
I don't remember where I found it. If I can find it in time, I'll send it to you. Maybe we can include this here, but it was one of those type of things where, I had more respect for Ozzy after that, because I was like, they may not have used his lyrics and the lyrics might not have been all that great, but there were these little pockets of just really great lyric just coming from the top of his head that he had the ability to, even if it was just nonsense, that he could put lyrics out into a melody without thinking about it, without writing it down on paper. And that's a powerful thing. And I yield. So, but anyway, I had to just praise him for that.
Shut up, Don. So, favorite Ozzy album and song for me. I don't have a good answer for album. I'm gonna have to go ahead and say Blizzard of Oz, just because it has the innocence, the excitement, the everything of a solo album, and the fact that Ozzy Osbourne was able to transcend a genre. He was able to transcend a decade to become a legitimate solo artist away from his previous band. I mean, think about your favorite solo artist that came out of a band. Roger Waters, Ace Frehley. Look at their set list. How much of their old band is in that set list? Ozzy didn't do that. Immediately, he went on tour playing the entirety of Blizzard of Oz and like 4 Sabbath tracks. That's amazing. As for favorite song, my favorite Ozzy Osbourne solo track has always been, and will always be, Crazy Train. It was not only an amazing track, but it was something that it was an inside joke in my old band. When we'd go to Six Flags, we'd ride the mine train, and we would sing Crazy Train the whole time. I know Crazy Train's not really about trains, but it meant a lot. My old bass player Tim was a big Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne fan, like I was back in the 90s. And back in the 90s, there weren't a whole lot of us. We were the minority, and that was fine. And that is, I know what I'm going to listen to tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to listen to Ozzy Osbourne Tribute, and I'm going to listen to Black Sabbath Reunion, and I am going to cry. And I'm finally going to process a world without one of my top 5 favorite artists. And I don't know how to deal with that. Keefy, what do you got? Or Don.
So before I list mine, I do have to ask you guys both a question about this. When you were trying to figure out the answer to this question, how much of it were you trying to separate what you thought was the best Ozzy album versus what your favorite Ozzy album is? Because as we know, those are two different cards, right?
Completely.
So
as someone whose favorite Metallica record is Lulu, knows their best album is the Black Album. Easy for me. I can sit and choose my favorite. That's just how I roll.
Okay, and that's what I thought too, because as I was going through this list, I had a hard time separating that for myself, because I had like what I thought was the best album, what I thought was my favorite album, and they are two different things. But what I thought my favorite album was Diary of a Madman, and because that album to me, Blizzard of Oz was such a fucking just smack. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, fuck, that is Ozzy right there. That is Randy. Diary of a Madman, they, for some reason, maybe the production level was a little better, I don't know, but there was something about just the songwriting, the performances. It sounded much more gelled and much more together, in my opinion. And I just think that album, banger after banger, I could kind of do without You Can't Kill Rock and Roll, but as a kid, when I heard that song, I
that's fair. That song sucks.
Yeah, but when you're 12 years old,
but you know what?
It means a lot.
You know what?
What?
You can't kill rock and roll.
Well, you really can't, and I'm a believer when it comes to that.
When I go to bed, it's No Bone Movies.
No, it's not, Nick.
Good Lord.
Nick and his octopus of dicks everywhere.
Nick is like, what is it? Natalie Portman's second rap about Star Wars. Say something nice about Jar Jar Binks. Now kiss him on his 17 dicks.
Oh, and one last time, my favorite song though is not from Diary. It's Goodbye to Romance.
I will
reach
over and grab my copy of The Lonely Island featuring Natalie's rap.
Yo, Natalie. Don needs to get like his one sock in the whole house that's not cummed in, or one of
you think he has that many?
Dr. L's not cummed in stockings or something, and just put it over the mic cover, because he's just spitting hot fire onto that microphone today.
I just it's a dirty horse, but someone's got to ride it, guys. And Nick, Keith, thank you for the nice compliment about my cover. That was
Your cover was lovely.
Yeah,
I sent it to a few people actually. It was
All
very
right.
touching.
It's beautiful.
So I did not mention my favorite Ozzy Sabbath record. My favorite Sabbath record is Master of Reality. I don't know if it's their best, but it's my favorite to qualify what Don was putting down. And then we'll say, I guess best Ozzy solo album, Blizzard of Oz. I mean, It's fucking flawless. It's a 10 of 10. I'm sorry to the thing that I preached about doing. We'll be doing a whole Ozzy series starting next week, and we're gonna do every album.
Announcement. Wait, what?
Every album until Osmosis, probably.
Spoiler, Keith.
Wait,
Spoiler.
hang on. Are we going straight up Queen on this bitch?
I don't know. We might have to. We have to at
If
least
it's
do one
Osmosis,
here.
that's Queen.
Dude, please
not
don't. Please don't take
It's 4 or
it
5
to
records. It's not
Osmosis.
that bad. We'll see. We'll see.
Osmosis.
We don't
is
have to
7.
do just a Ozzy or tribute. We can skip them if you want to.
We'll skip those, of course. Those are live. But
We should do a 2-part series on Black Rain.
2, 2, 3. Osmosis is 7.
Black Rain by Soundgarden.
Isn't that a Michael Caine movie?
Does
Michael
nobody
Caine.
remember the Ozzy album Black Rain?
Michael Douglas movie. Sorry.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Every year,
That's-
every
no,
year I
that's-
would go on
that song
holiday to Italy, and I would sit in a very nice cafe by the sea and drink a Fernet Branca.
What?
And I would hope I would
that
see you
song,
there.
sure, that song is called Snowblind.
Yes. So,
Cocaine.
Blizzard of Oz, best Ozzy songs, Crazy Train. I mean, it changed the game. It invented several subgenres of metal. It doesn't sound anything like Sabbath except that it's Ozzy, and even Ozzy is cleaned up a little and outside of himself.
Ozzy sounds nothing like Ozzy from.
Yeah, you sounded good there, especially
Right.
considering how bad Never Say Die is.
Oh, it's so bad.
So yeah, I think that's it for me.
Alrighty, I'm just gonna say let's just all take one moment and do a short business, and I probably will end up speaking for all of us on this in this bit. I cannot speak enough. Wow. Now Keefy's in Don's face, and Don is in Keefy's dick, and I'm on Nick's face. Perfection.
It is Wednesday night.
I need one of my tracksuits. All my tracksuits are in a different room. So I'm probably going to speak for all of us when I say this, but Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, the solo career, it was just such an amazing run. Ozzy never truly put out a poor record. Black Sabbath did, but
They put out a few.
yeah, and most of them with Ozzy or Tony Martin.
There's no Tony Martin hate.
I didn't hate Tony Martin. I hated Tony Iommi.
Dude, a couple of those Dio records are terrible. What are you talking about?
Which Dio records are terrible?
The 90s Dio records are not 10s or 9s at all. They're borderline good.
There's literally one.
There's one Sabbath album with Dio from the 90s.
And it's amazing. Not start to finish.
He quit literally after the album to not help him.
No, he toured. He quit because Black Sabbath chose to open for Ozzy. And Dio, and I quote, will not open for that fucking clown shoes.
Yeah, well, I wonder if he would feel the same if he was alive today.
Look, Dehumanizer fucks about as good as Beast from the
I didn't like it at the time.
No,
It's just okay.
It fucks way better than Beast from the East. Do not insult.
I pick Osmosis.
What the hell are we? What? Okay, stop. Collaborate and listen.
Don't listen.
Wait a
Don't
minute.
listen.
Wait a minute. It just occurred to me. Those lyrics make no fucking sense.
They
Stop,
don't at all.
collaborate, and listen.
Especially from who was doing it.
I mean, if you stop, you've stopped. If you've collaborated,
Who has less talent, Vanilla Ice or Snow? That's the question of our time.
Vanilla Ice.
Oh, Vanilla Ice. hands
Snow,
down,
Nella
dude.
Ice. What did
I
you
mean,
say?
at least
Vanilla Ice.
at least Snow can like do
That's Nick's
regular.
rap name.
At least no, my rap name is MC Sol for X.
No. Actually, I've also decided that my beat poet punk stage name is going to be Urethra Franklin.
Nice. That is clever.
But mine's not.
No, yours is great.
No. Nobody stopped. Nobody collaborated. Nobody fucking listened. I give you the greatest rap name ever for somebody that is as white as me.
Wait, what was it again?
Silence.
What was it again?
MC Sol for X.
Oh, I'm sorry, I already forgot it. What was it again? See, I mean, that's
It is auditions for the third co-host for the Glacially Musical Podcast.
I came here to lead, not to read or do that. Come on.
Hey, wait a minute. Was somebody talking about snowblind?
Well, I think now we have to have an Ozzy.
Hang on.
Coming up soon
Somebody,
to the podcast, we need an Ozzy and we need a Nuge.
somebody
Yes,
quickly
Nuge.
talk about who. No, we're not going to chew our food twice. We're going to chew it later. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Keefy, you are my main brain, my bitch with the itch. Don, fuck you.
Jesus.
And I love you too, you fucking
What
fuck.
the fuck is going on here with
You and
this
all 8 of you.
ramshackle ending?
Do you want to talk about a guy that did not figure out how to end this? Right here.
Two thumbs and that guy. I guess I'll take us home. Thanks for joining.
I just took us home.
Rip Ozzy Osbourne. What a fucking sad day in the world. The world is less shiny and bright without him.
The man lived a life we all dream of. The man did it all. And I'm going to celebrate the holy living shit out of that man tomorrow while I'm in my house.
JJ Promenade says, Don, your buddy is kind of a hard-on. I know he's not talking about me.
2x2, promenade, duck from a B1 bomber raid. Ain't about the plans Osama made.
Hey,
Thanks get paid by Petro Trade.
Real quick, I also want to drop an Ozzy quote before we head out. Is that
Sharon!
in the metal years, Ozzy says, just remember one thing. You meet a lot of people on the way up, but don't fuck them because you'll meet them on the way down as well.
You'll meet them all on the slow crawl to the middle.
Oh, God. Man, we are not referencing Almost Famous nearly enough.
No, I
And
know.
it feels like we should be doing like 8 to 10. Okay.
Fick you.
Feck. It's not fuck. It's not fick. It's feck. What's the difference?
There was a guy on the
The
Detroit
letter
Letter
U.
U.
The best named guy ever on the Detroit Tigers was Rob Fick. And it was impossible to hit, like batting number 7, Rob Fick.
Okay, let's wrap this up. I have somebody waiting for me.
You have been listening to the Glacially Musical Podcast, a Ghost Cult joint. Perhaps we'll do these again. This seemed a lot. The last one was way off the rails. This seems extremely ramshackle.
This one is
For
very
a tribute
bumpy.
episode.
It's bumpy. If you take my
Very
meaning.
bumpy. Thanks
But
for being
this-
here. You know where to follow all of us. Nick Cameron of the Glacially Musical Podcast, mostly on Blue Sky, still on Instagram, other places. Don DeLamont of Southeast of Heaven and Talking the Talk with Don. Don't call him Don on the web. He gets mad at that. Omar, cut this. I'm Keefy of GhostCultMag.com.
Omar cut
Some-
Don.
2 quick programming notes. We will be back next week starting a series on Ozzy, and our contest will officially launch this Friday to win Nick's bundles of vinyl and CDs.
Hopefully somebody knows what it is, because I don't.
And as we always say, it's the Glacial Musical Podcast. It does not play in Peoria, and sadly, John Michael Osborne, Ozzy Osbourne, will never play Peoria again.
Fuck Peoria, because I
Fuck you, Peoria.
Damn, what if nice people are in Peoria?
They are nice people. I love Peoria. I once got drunk with an
Race
NHL referee
snowblind,
there.
folks.
Have you ever been drunk with a referee and a director of officiating? I have been drunk there with them.
That's wild.
That referee wore eyeliner.
Are we still on?
Guideliner.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
Bye.
by the way, I'm actually available to officiate weddings because I am an ordained minister now. So just
In
wanted to let you
Peoria
guys
or
know.
elsewhere?
I will perform weddings anywhere.
Okay,
but
cut the
Peoria.
fuck